Hi there. Welcome to Books and Things with Tom. And tonight we have a repeat. It's been an annual thing to have Marcie Brensilver on. This is our third get-together, I believe.
Yeah.
And she is one of the co-founders, a founding member of the Terri Brodeur Breast Cancer Foundation. And each year we try to get her on here so that she can appeal to people to march and make donations.
Right, but we call it a walk, not a march.
It's not a march, it's a walk. It's only be a march if you got drums and...
Right, we don't have a band. Although we do have music in some places.
Well, welcome. It's nice
Thank
seeing
you.
you again.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Now, when is your walk this year?
It is October 3rd. It's always the first Saturday in October.
Okay.
And this will be this is our 10th anniversary walk.
Wow.
Yes, and we're excited about it. So there'll be some special things going on.
That's great.
Yeah.
10 years and you've raised a lot of money.
We've raised over $3 million in 10 years, and we have funded 28 researchers who are doing research on breast cancer.
That's great. Yeah. Now, tell the people where the walk is.
Okay, the full marathon starts at Saybrook Point at 6. We start to collect it by 6:30, opening ceremonies, and at 7 o'clock we step off. And then the half marathon starts just off 4 Mile River Road, and that's mid-morning. And then the quarter marathon starts in Niantic. And then we all end up this year at the O'Neill Theater.
Really?
They're giving us their facilities to use for our 10th anniversary.
Like a little picnic at the end?
You can bring food. I'm not carrying food all that way, though.
Oh, a big knapsack.
No, they feed us lunch halfway through, a little more than halfway, but we get to eat lunch at Rocky Neck.
Oh, okay.
And
but
nice. we have pit stops about every 3 miles along the route that have hydration and snacks and porta potties, and a member of our medical team is at the pit stops in case anybody is having a problem. And we have someone who for 8 years, was the caboose and brought up the end and walked with the last walker. And I retired from that position last year, and we have a wonderful gal who's Lisa, who is our caboose now and does a wonderful job, and she'll be there with the last walkers and keep them moving on the trail. And should there be any problems, she has a way to get to hold of the right people.
Mm-hmm. Now I want to point out that you are a 23-year breast
24.
24 years.
Yes.
Breast cancer survivor, and that's fantastic. It's always a congratulations.
Yep, it's nice to be here all those years.
And you're a health sexuality educator?
That was my profession, yes.
Ah, that's an interesting.
It was an interesting 28 years for sure, yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's neat, I guess.
And I was the one who was out there in the community teaching women to do breast self-exams and encouraging them to have mammograms and, stay up to date with their doctor's exams. And I found my own on breast self-exam, which we urge women to learn how to do and encourage them to do it once a month.
Huh. I think we may have discussed last time that one of my authors wrote a book on on breast cancer. It's kind of on a light side, and I can't forget the name of the book. But she talked about self-examination, and a friend of her husband's and hers said something about there was a calendar thing, and he said, "What's that?" And she said, "Well, I have to remind myself every month." He said, "From now on, I'll call you."
Oh.
And he did on the day, and he called her. He was her breast friend, and I thought that was neat.
Well, we encourage women to do breast exams on the 5 days after their menstrual period starts.
Okay.
And that's when the hormone levels are lowest. And therefore, for women who tend to have lumpy breasts, that's the best time to do it. And so everybody should do it at that time. It's really the best. For women who are menopausal, then I tell them to pick a date, whether it's the day of their birthday each month or the first day of the month, something so they'll remember to do it routinely.
Wow. Well, and it's a lot easier than a mammogram.
Well, but it has to be used in addition to, and
Yeah.
mammograms don't start until, I think now they say at 40.
40.
And years ago when I was teaching, it was 35. But unfortunately, I know far more women now who are being diagnosed with breast cancer in their 20s and 30s, and I really think that women have to start doing breast self-exam at least in their teens, late teens.
Well, cancer doesn't decide how old you are. It doesn't care.
No, breast cancer is more prevalent the older a woman gets, but that doesn't mean that somebody, I know a teenager who had it at the age of 16.
That's awful.
Very unusual, but possible.
It's hardly even developed at that age.
Yes.
And that's a shame. But yeah, it's something you should all do, obviously. And they say even men.
Men can get breast cancer, and it's important for men to know that if they find a lump on their chest, somewhere in the area of the nipple, that they have to keep an eye on it, and then if it doesn't go away, then to have it looked into.
Yeah. Yeah, because men think they're immune, but
they're not.
They're susceptible also.
Yes.
Now, the Cancer Fund is strictly for research.
Our foundation
is
100% of fundraising dollars go to research.
Right.
And we're very proud of that. We are very thankful that we have local businesses and groups who have come on as sponsors. And when you're a sponsor, you know that the dollars that you're giving us are helping us defray the costs that we have, because we do have some. And so, but all fundraising dollars go to research. We're proud of that.
And not salaries for anybody.
Nope. Nope. Even sponsorships cover, and we don't have much in the way of salaries. The few people we have. Oh, for the researchers?
Yeah.
Well, we have a scientific advisory committee made up of researchers, and they have been very faithful to us. I believe they're all the same people who signed on 10 years ago. And they receive the applications from researchers. We no longer have to go out and look for them. People know enough about us that the researchers are contacting the foundation. The scientific advisory committee goes over them and chooses, depending on how much money we've raised that year, 1, 2, or 3 scientists that we can fund in that year. Obviously, the more money we raise, the more people we can. And so it's a $100,000 grant over a 2-year period.
Wow.
And that's often when researchers who are fairly new at starting out in their research can't attract the big funders like the CDC and the NIH, National Institutes of Health, and the Center for Disease Control. So we have had researchers who have contacted us, one who returned the remainder that I know of, that returned the remainder of her grant money when she was picked up by one of these bigger national organizations. And so obviously they thought that her research was promising.
Yeah, oh, that's nice.
Yes. Yeah.
Now, Terri Brodeur, want to explain how this all started?
Okay. In 2005, a team was formed in support of Norma Logan, who had stage 4 breast cancer, by her friend Sandy Maniscalco. And I was approached, and I didn't know either of these ladies at the time. And they said, oh, I understand you walk. Would you like to be part of a group? And I'd always wanted to do one of those 3-day events. But none of my friends would walk any further than around the block. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to, and I didn't want to do it all by myself. So when I had this opportunity, it sounded wonderful. I got into it a little bit late in the training, but I still managed to do the 3-day event with them. And afterwards, Norma found out that 40% of the money we raised went to administrative overhead. We worked very hard to raise the money we had.
Yeah.
We had a team of 30 men and women. We had 5 volunteers who helped support the team. And then in the fall of '05, we had walked in July of '05. In the fall of '05, Sandy and Norma got together, met with a lawyer and an accountant locally who gave their time pro bono to the ladies to find out how do you set up a 501c3 nonprofit foundation. And then they came back to the team in probably January of '06 and explained to us what they wanted to do, that they wanted to form a foundation where 100% of the money raised could go directly to research. That was what Norma chose. At the time, both she and Sandy worked at Pfizer, so that was the way that they were, where their thinking was.
Yeah.
And almost everybody, if not everybody, on the team and spouses or partners signed up to be part of it. And that's how I got involved. And I've met some of the most wonderful people I've ever known in my life. And in the fall of '05, while the two ladies were looking into this, Norma had met Terri Brodeur at chemo clinic. They would get chemo on the same day, and they got to be friendly. And unfortunately, Terri died in October of '05. And as things progressed, Norma thought, well, she'd like to name it after Terri. Terri was very courageous. She left 3 young children. And she went to the family, and they liked the idea, and they signed on. And so that's how it got to be named, the Terri Brodeur Breast Cancer Foundation. So we set it all up and worked on it in January, February, March, and unfortunately Norma died in April of '06. And so we were dedicated to continuing her effort and making it work.
And you have. That's great.
Yes, we have, and we're very proud of that.
And she's probably up there clapping.
I think, well, every time the sun comes up as we're having opening ceremonies, we keep thinking, Terri and Norma are looking down and making the sun shine. But the 2 years it rained, I guess they got up late. But we have done it, as I said, twice in the rain. It's not the most pleasant thing, but we did it, and most everybody finished their committed distance.
Now, for a person to march, they bring a sheet of paper with
what they need to do is they need to go on our website, and they need to register as a walker. Now, if anybody wants to volunteer that day, they also have to register as a volunteer, and our volunteers are very good to us walkers and support us and are there for us all day long. So we do need volunteers. If people say, I can't walk that far, that's okay, because we do need the support during the day. So either way, you have to register, and then you go about trying to raise money. Well, it's a lot of money. Each distance has its required amount of money. And for the quarter marathon, it's $200. For the half marathon, it's $250, and for the full marathon, $500. And I just sit down and write or email everybody I know and or love. And I've had some very, very faithful people who've been with me all 10 years.
So if somebody wants to go for the full marathon, he goes out banging on doors and collecting money.
They can, or we have groups that you can form a team with somebody, and then often teams will get together and run fundraisers for them to raise the money.
Yeah, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and we also have teen teams. Kids between the ages of 12 and 18 can walk. They need to have an adult somewhere on the trail during the course of the day on the route, who is responsible if needed during the day. And the kids need only to raise $100 apiece. But they can share. So if one child is able to raise, let's say, 125, and another one can only raise 75, that first child can say, listen, you take 25 of mine, and that'll give you 100, and you can be on the team. Yeah. So if there are 8 kids on a team, the team has to raise $800 minimum. And obviously, most teams raise more than
Yeah.
that. Most individuals may raise more than the amounts that I just
Well,
mentioned.
it's fairly easy. We have a similar thing that we do in April with the Lions, and it's a walk, but we go out and get people to pledge X number of dollars, whatever, 5, 10, whatever they want to pledge, and then for the total, we go up and present the total up there.
Exactly. We've had the money coming in. Most people nowadays do it online, and each walker can now set up his or her own fundraising page, and it gives it a contact, a way, an address in your letter. You write in this, what looks like a long, complicated address, but it'll take you right to that person's fundraising page. And then you can donate to that person online. But there's also a form. When I send letters, I do have people who don't prefer to do it online, or who don't respond, or I don't have their email addresses even. I will send them my letter, and with it the donation form, and they can then mail it in if they wish
Now,
to.
how many walkers do you have usually?
Somewhere between 350 up. We'd love to have 500. We're still trying for that, but we need to reach a lot of people. Some people do it once and feel that's all they can do. They've done it once and they feel the accomplishment, and it is an incredible accomplishment. Some people, just will find that the fundraising for them is difficult. Others have been doing it all 10 years with us.
Wow.
Or any number in between.
Yeah. 350 people, that's a lot of people.
It is.
And that's a lot of people to feed and take care of. And so your volunteer crew must be huge.
Oh, yes. We have a traffic and safety. We have hydration. We have a medical team. We have pit stops. We have food. We have opening and closing ceremonies. We have team captains for each one of those teams. I'm sure I'm forgetting some of them. We have for people who can't walk and even can't spend the whole day volunteering for us, they can be part of a spirit team. And the spirit teams are set up generally along the last 6 miles when we need the most encouragement we can get. And they bring their lawn chairs. They can sit, they can stand. They usually have goodies maybe for us, some kind of candy or whatever they choose to do. And they're there to cheer us on. And that is really wonderful, and it helps us along the way.
And once again, it's at where?
We start at Saybrook Point.
Saybrook Point.
At 6:30 in the morning. We like people to gather on October 3rd. And then we are usually done, we should be done by have the last walker in by 3:30. Having been the last walker, I know there are some that take longer, and somebody last year took a little bit longer than that, but we all waited around for them to arrive. And there are refreshments at closing ceremonies, and there's a ceremony, and then there's usually something to let people know. Anybody who is a survivor can come up, sometimes to receive a flower, from us, and just to be recognized.
Well, I think it's been broadcast so much over the last couple of years that years ago nobody mentioned it, and today it's so vastly. It's on TV, it's on the radio, it's everywhere. People like you are broadcasting it. People like the foundation are telling people. And I think it's so important, which is why I like to have you on every year, because it's a community thing, and I think it's a community involvement thing that we all have to know about. We just have to know about it.
Because we have a very high incidence of breast cancer in Connecticut, and especially in southeastern Connecticut. Nobody has been able to give me a reason, an answer. I've heard a number of different reasons that people give. But it's there, and it's happening, and hardly a month goes by that I don't hear about somebody knew, or
Yeah.
you know, somewhere along the line somebody has said they know of somebody who was
And
diagnosed.
Why is it always the breast? Just, I mean, it's not always the breast, obviously, but that seems
It
to be
is
the-
a prevalent kind of
Yeah.
cancer, yes. And I'm not a scientist, I can't give you those answers. I don't
probably
know if
can't
any of
either.
our scientists can, but they certainly are trying to make inroads, and there's some very promising research
Oh, yeah.
out there. In fact, on August 3rd, Dr. Mike Moran and Sandy Maniscalco, our founder, will be visiting Mass General Hospital and meeting with Dr. Priscilla Brastianos, who is one of our researchers, so that she can bring them up to date with what she's doing. On August 5th, several people, Stacy Galtieri, Pam Watt, and Shelley Halligan, and Sandy, are going to visit Dr. Erin Hofstadter at the Smilo Center at Yale, and to do the same thing. And then on September 17th, there's going to be a research symposium at L&M's Cancer Center. 3 TBCF research recipients will give short talks on their research projects that they've received with our grant funding. So there's a lot going on. There are a lot of people. Two researchers came and spoke to us at our annual meeting in May. So they're trying to keep us, pardon the expression, abreast of what's happening.
Yeah.
And so those are things that are ongoing.
Now, L&M is partnered with
They're in the process of partnering.
cancer.
Well, they're currently partnering with,
I think they just built a building.
yes, there's a beautiful big
Yeah.
center off exit 81, and they've been part of the Dana-Farber.
Dana-Farber. Okay.
What will happen when L&M now becomes affiliated with Yale?
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Yeah,
how
'cause
that
Yale
will take.
has Smiley.
Yeah, Smilo.
And
So I'm not sure how that will,
yeah.
what that will be.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah.
And of course, that puts Wesley in there too. And I think, from what I've read, I may be all wrong, but from what I read, they're planning to put $300 million into Newland and Westerly. Excuse me, that's all in new equipment and updated technology, and I think it's fantastic.
It is, and a lot of people say to me, well, there's so much being done for breast cancer, what about there's so many other kinds of cancer? And that's absolutely true, but they're finding now that some of the things that are working or could be related to one type of cancer will translate to some of the other types of cancer.
Absolutely.
So since breast cancer is obviously hormone, there's a relationship with female hormones. Exactly what that is, I don't know, and I'm not sure they know yet. But at least the ovarian cancer and uterine cancer, and those are all, hormone, possibly hormone related. So I think that some of that should translate from one to the other, but it's a lot of work that still has to be done.
It's such a big killer, and it just seems like as soon as you get it, you're done.
No, I mean,
Well,
here I am
sometimes.
24 years later.
Yeah, but
The
sometimes,
earlier it's found, the more treatable
Yeah.
it is. And that's why we push for breast self-exam monthly, because if you go for a physical once a year, a woman could find it, so much earlier than waiting another year, or having regular mammograms as well. And now there are some other kinds of tests that they can use as well.
Well, once again, the address is on the screen for the foundation, and you can go in there and you get as much information as you want. There's a phone number there.
There is a phone number. We do not have people in the office all the time.
Okay.
We're volunteers, most of us, and so there is going to be, leave a message and they'll get back to you. There are some other things coming up, if I could
Please.
talk about.
Yeah, we got a couple of minutes.
Okay, August 4th, the Great Neck Country Club Women's Association is having a TBBCF charity golf tournament, Rally for a Cure.
Wow.
It's open to the public. So all people need to do is get a hold of, find out more information, either go on our website and get information, or call the Great Neck Country Club. September 12th, Sava Insurance Company is having their 3rd annual volleyball tournament, Bump Out Breast Cancer. It's open to the public. It's held at Ocean Beach. Go to, call Sava Insurance, Debbie Kane, and I can give you, I think I have her number, 860-449-4053, Debbie Kane. And if I don't know if you have to come with a whole team off the bat, or you can join a team, but that takes place on September 12th. Also on September 12th, there's a walk team called Breast Friends. You can form a team, as I said before, and it's called Shotgun Poker Run. And I don't understand it because it's got to do with motorcycles and poker, neither of which are my interests. But go on the website and learn more about that. People, also on September 29th, there's going to be a pumpkin painting party at Smith's Acres in Niantic. Niantic has been wonderful about decorating Main Street for the month of October, but specifically for our walk. And they paint the town pink, and they have wonderful things as we walk down through Niantic, and the businesses have been most receptive and most supportive. That's been wonderful. October 14th, celebrity chef party, or chef at the Brazen Hen in Westerly. You can go online and learn more about that. And Groton Regional Theater production of the Rocky Horror Movie Show, October 30th and 31st. And that's also something that part of the proceeds are coming to the Terri Brodeur Breast Cancer Foundation.
Fantastic. If you want, you can email me, and I'll pass any information over to Marcie, and she can get back to you.
Very good.
It's been fun.
Okay.
And
thank you for the opportunity to once again talk about our walk. The reason we talk about it now is because if you're going to walk a quarter, a half, or a full marathon, it's really important to start training.
That's right.
And get out on the road now.
I want to get out there and start right away.
Absolutely.
Saturday is the first day of August, as we know. It's the last full month of summer. So anybody who's sick of summer, think twice about it, because it's almost over. And we're going to get back to that cold stuff. I got a great lineup coming up. Tish Raby, I talked about, she wrote Cat in the Hat, and she's still writing it. The Mystic Organics, who is going to be talking about inhaling oxygen. They have an oxygen bar. And you can go in there if you got a hangover or whatever and get oxygen, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe we need one of those along the route of our walk.
Good idea. Steve Daggett of the Steve Daggett Band is coming on. And country award-winning Frankie Justin Lamprey and his band Rough Stock. He's going to be here on August 20th. And if you want to see him and the band, go to the Old Roadhouse in New London from 6 to 9 p.m. on August 8th. And he and the band is going to be over there. He's also going to have CDs and T-shirts available. T-shirt is just a gorgeous picture of him on it. He's such a good kid. This kid's 16 years old.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, he's tremendous. Anyway, he's going to be here on the 20th, but he's going to be in New London on the August 8th. If you want more information, let me know. Special thank you to SCC TV, who is also a nonprofit organization, and for hosting the show. Tonight, the VFW is serving chowder and clam fritters again. That's free with a beverage. And they have a luncheon tomorrow. Stop by, because it's for a good cause. Thank you for watching, and let me email me, so I'll be happy to give you any information you need. You should be reading. Cuddle up with a good book. Even on a hot night, got air conditioners going, cuddle up with a good book from a local author. See you next week. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you.